Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 15 Reunion Part 1. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Listen, the reunion for me gave confusion, chaos, and a Tyler Perry production. I don't know. I don't know. It was just doing too much and too little all at the same damn time. Now, listen, I know as Housewives fans, we are very critical of our Atlanta girls because Atlanta is that franchise for me and it always will be. But I have to say, it was just too much. It was props coming out everywhere. People were standing up, twirling around, and it was just too much going on, honey. I don't know if I'm getting older or if I was just like, y'all shut up, honey. All the hell for shut up. Everybody shut the hell up. But y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, all the heifers are arriving. Hey, y'all. Andy is meditating. Andrew, I don't know why you need meditation for the Atlanta heifers, honey. You ain't had no meditation when them Jersey women get to pushing you down in your seat and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. So we get started. Kenya comes out first. The ladies start to hit the stage. I'm not very fond of the color or the dresses. I'm just not. I'm not very fond of them. Sonya comes out to reveal her cute little baby bump, and it's time to get into it. So Andy jumped right into the shade. He looks at Candy and he's like, well, Candy, I'm happy that you could join us. You know, we called Don Juan to make sure you would be available. Candy, I don't know exactly what you're doing, honey, but you better kick off your shoes and relax your feet on down to them damn Atlanta Housewives. Because Andrew is trying to throw subliminals and he ain't fooling me. So after he did that, he looks at Sheree and he says, Sheree, you look so refreshed. He said, what's different? I had trouble breathing, so I told him to, just go ahead and tweak my nose. Sheree, in your 50 plus beautiful years, now you can't damn breathe. Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. Okay, Jordan Sparks, ain't a damn thing wrong with your nostrils. You could breathe just fine. Girl, just let me tell you something. Kyle used that same excuse. Just own the work. Own it. So yeah, I went and had a little something done because I wasn't happy. I mean, I just thought I'd tweak it. I just want to shift it a little bit. Just like you did Kim's OCX wig. You just want to shift it a little bit. Girl, you just want to shift it a little bit. So then we find out Sonya is due on Christmas Day. Oh, Sonya, well, that's a sweet Christmas present. So now it's time for Sheree's package. Hers is up first. We see her time on the season. But side note, Sheree. That woman is beautiful. I know oftentimes, we talk about the heifers and how they act and how they behave, but this is a beautiful cast. They look so good. Every last one of them. They're just pretty. And Sheree, you're very pretty, honey. So I just want to throw that in there, honey. The face has settled nicely. Okay. Catch it. You look nice, girl. Moving forward. So then Andy asked about the secret daughter of it all and Bob revealing it at the baby sip and see. And Sheree was like, I mean, that's somebody that came, before me. I was divorced from him. They didn't even get a blood test done. I just don't really know. Sheree. Joggers, listen to me. You can fool some of the people some of the time. But you ain't fooling me. Now, I know it don't go like that, but that's how it's going to go today. Sheree, I do not believe for 1 second that man did not have a blood. That woman looked just like Bob. Okay, same complexion and everything. Same jawline, standing up tall. She looks just like Bob. So, girl, anyway, you knew about that girl and you just trying to pretend like you didn't know about that girl, and that's just that on that. She was like, yeah, because Andy said, well, why didn't your children tell you about her? And she said, well, I mean, they knew, but they knew I didn't give a damn, because, we were already divorced. I didn't care nothing about that. Okay, girl, if you don't care, then I don't care either. Let's move on. So then Andy brings up Speak on it and how Candy said Sheree looked just like Drew. And so Candy was like, well, let's be clear. Because, if it's one thing she gonna do, she gonna say, let's be clear. Baby, so we don't need to know if we're clear or not, because she gonna let it be known that let's be clear. So she said, I was just speaking of that specific picture. In that picture, she looked just like Drew. So Drew was like, I thought it was your makeup. I thought maybe somebody, I forgot who she said, did your makeup. I thought that's what it was. So Andy said, well, it was a compliment. Here goes Sheree. Well, if I was Drew, I would have been insulted because that was my worst picture. Ma'am, don't try it. Okay, don't try it. Don't do it. Drew is a very pretty lady. The face card never declines. Now, she might sit up there and lie, but she's a pretty girl. So you can't say, well, I mean, if you think she looks like that horrible picture, I will be insulted. Sheree, just say you took a bad photo and you were still fluffy when you went outside. Sometimes you need to sit in the chateau. You don't need to go outside if you know your face still fluffy. Girl, goodbye and good night. So then they bring up Hotel, a.k.a. Martell, and how he swing that D all over Huntsville. And I just thought, I don't know, is it just me? Y'all, I might be outgrowing the reality TV spectrum, because when Andy was like describing Martell and what the viewer said via the comment card, I was like, why is he saying the actual word? He was like, Nancy from Chattanooga wants to know, do you care about Martell swinging his all over Huntsville, that big of his? I was like, wait a minute. Now I know we on cable, honey, and I ain't no prude, okay, at all. But could we just say his member, like a some child? I want to hear about Hotel's D. Anywho, Sheree was like, I mean, when he's with me, we have a good time. But I pulled back from him because I was always getting caught up in the mess. So Kenya said, well, do you know about the revenge corn on the cob? Honey, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The revenge corn. And she was like, what? No, that was never proven. I don't know nothing about it. They don't even have the specifics. Girl, please. The receipts are all over YouTube. Them people spend all day and night dissecting all things Huntsville. So stop acting like you didn't see those receipts, because you did, girl. See, this is Sheree. I be trying so hard to really ride with you. But it's like you like to play in my face. You know you saw those receipts. You know what he did to that woman. And stop sitting here saying, well, I mean, I never knew anything about that. It's never really proven. Nothing was ever really. Girl, the receipts are all over the YouTube. That slime bucket tried to silence and embarrass Mel by releasing that video. And you know this. And I know you know it. Because they send you anything else. They sent you all them failed health inspections Candy had, but they ain't send you nothing about Hotel. Okay. Moving forward. She did say that they still hang out, but she likes him, but she likes herself more. Okay, girl. So then they asked Kenya about the DM and why she waited to tell Sheree about the DM. And she was like, well, I mean, I gave her the information after I realized that they were official. It was no big deal at first. But Kenya, you sat next to her at the reunion. And if this DM was prior to the reunion and you saw they were even getting a little bit cozy, you should have just been like, girl, well, he was DMing me too. I think he's trying to find a housewife. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you know. So Sheree was like, why wouldn't you have told me before so I would not have gone in that direction? And again, Sheree, you're right, girl. You would have still chosen that tight suit wearing weirdo. So let's not act like you would have been like, oh, I got to steer clear. The DMs are full. You would have went right on up joggers. You would have went right on up. You would have went right on over there. So I don't want to hear it at all. And so then they start going on because Sheree said that Kenya never has a man. And Kenya was like, I don't want a man that disrespects his wife and talks to women crazy and has a baby on their wife and does this, that, and this and a baby. Clearly, Kenya is a fan of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. And Mel. So she was like, I don't want a man like that. So then Sheree was like, well, I'm just saying, you're a beautiful woman. I mean, maybe you should get a man. Listen. Both of y'all choose ain't nothing men. We've all been there. Okay, we've all been there. Now y'all both single together, so it's cool. And Sheree, don't forget who was there for you when Lyrone left you under that heat lamp. Okay, how quickly we forget. So then Andy shifted on over to Kenya and asked her if her divorce was final. It is not. And the fact that Andy has been asking Kenya if her divorce is final at every single reunion reminds me a lot of when he would ask everybody that he came in contact with, are you wearing She by Sheree? That is what this is giving me. So no, the divorce is not final. Kenya tells Andy, nope, I'm not divorced. I was held in contempt of court because Marlo was kicking at the damn door and Brooklyn was in the room and now it's deemed unsafe. But I'm not going down by myself, okay? And so Marlo was like, well, Yeah, I apologize for Brooklyn being in the middle of our mess. I apologize for that. Kenya was like, girl, what are you saying? I'm not understanding you. What are you saying to me? What I'm saying to you is Kenya was basically like, yeah. Say whatever you want. You have been served. Your number was in his phone record in Discovery. I saw it there. So here's your subpoena. So she's like, Andy, can you hand this to her? So everybody go away. Oh, y'all go away. So Andy gets the paper. Now, Andy knows that he's looking at a damn blank piece of paper, but yet he's still looking at it. Andy, pass it down. One thing Kenya gonna bring is a prop, honey. She gonna bring it. But in all seriousness, I would have summoned her to court as well. Since you are partially the reason this little weirdo has something else to hold against me. Since you are the reason, then you shall go to court with me, honey. We gonna go both go in there and speak our speech. Honey, you're not gonna have me in there going to jail and you get to run scot-free with Scott Lee. Hell no. You going to court just like me. So Andy's looking at this paper and she's like, what? It's a subpoena. What are you looking at? It's a subpoena. Andy said, it's blank. Kenya said, oh, they printed the wrong one. Twirl now. Now, girl, you must be tired, honey. You done brought out a blank piece of paper. You always double check your receipts. Y'all know exactly what I was thinking when I was watching this. I said, baby, whoever was in charge of printing out that damn subpoena, they are going to be done. Do you hear me? The embarrassment that she must have felt when she saw and noticed and realized that that paper was empty and Marlo was able to get a good grin about it. Oh, baby, I know they ain't got no job. Honey, I can tell you right now, they on the unemployment line, honey. They better be on LinkedIn because they damn show ain't over there with Kenya Moore Hair Care. I'm just telling you now. So then Kenya reveals in Discovery that Marlo had texted and called Mark asking for dirt on her like 2 years ago. And it reminded me of when Phaedra was contacting Nene's sisters to film with her. And all I could think was, you never win when you play dirty. That's all I could think of, child. So we're going to move on. Moving forward. Marlo, why do you have so many husbands' phone numbers in your phone? I ain't never seen nothing like it. Like, why do you keep doing that? Hell, they watching everybody else. They need to watch you. So then Andy brings up the Cashapp king. That would be Sheree's ex hotel. And Sheree was like, if I invite people for my birthday, Andy said, you're going to pay. She said, I'm not paying. So then he said, okay, you do have a very interesting relationship with bills. Oh, gosh. Oh, and everybody on this set is tired. Do you hear me? All of them so tired, honey. So Sheree said, well, I've never been sued for stealing somebody's idea, Johnny. Girl, now why are you shooting shots at Candy? Andy is the one that shaded you. You should have looked directly at Andy and said, well, the chateau is built and my bills are paid and I've never been in litigation that I can recall. If you have anything, pull it up. Bring the receipts if you have them. Like, why you go? How did it get over here to Candy? I was like, wait a minute. How did the bullet hit her? I was so thrown off, honey. And Johnny ain't get nothing playing in that court with Phaedra. Them attorneys wouldn't even take that case. They didn't even touch that because Todd is the one who came up with the OLG and Cynthia came up with the name because she called Mama Joyce and Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora the old lady gang when she was in that play in the lobby. They was at the play in the lobby and she looks at Phaedra. She's like, they're like a little gang, like an old lady gang. And that is how the name was. Now, if anybody should be suing, it should be Cynthia. And what else is going on? But Johnny ain't getting nothing, child, playing down there with Phaedra at that courthouse. So Candy's like, well, you need to worry about that website and that man that you didn't pay. So Sheree started to explain and then told Candy to mop them greasy floors. Candy didn't deny it. She just said, girl, gone. Candy, the floors are slip and slide records. Do you hear me? Shout out to Trick Daddy. Them floors be greasy in a restaurant, honey. You need to clean them floors up, Candy. So now they're going back and forth and back. Sheree standing all up. Girl, you could never. Sheree, you twirling around with that body of yours. Where has that gotten you? Huh? I say, what now? Oh, okay, not a damn place. Sheree, all of y'all are baddies. Some of y'all got a little bit more zhuzh than others. But nobody is just like, oh my gosh, look at her. She looks horrible. So you getting all up twirling around talking about some, you could never. Have a seat, ma'am. So Sheree stood up telling Candy she could never. Candy is like, you always talk about no shots, but shots or whatever you be saying, but all the shots in your face. Candy. It was a little Sheree stuttering done, but I mean, the read, it was reading. You tried to rebound it, but honey, it was a little touch and go there for a minute. Now Sheree stuttering. I'm like, both of y'all stuttering back and forth, honey. A readathon is supposed to be smooth. Okay? School of Reads, don't come for us. Honey, y'all need some lessons, child. Now Sheree stuttering. I had the shots. I had the jogger. I'm like, oh my God. Candy said, well, you was the one sitting there looking crazy in your picture. She said, how do I look now? Candy said, you look much better. What is this? What is this? Are y'all at odds or are y'all playing right now? Girl, what? Not you look much better. What is happening? Just what is Sheree said, Candy, you know you can't sit with me. Big face or little face. So then Andy is trying to figure out what the big face is. Big bank take little bank. Candy telling her the only big faces she needs to be worried about is getting her money up. And then Andy is like, don't y'all go to the same person? Andrew, quit playing. You know Andy love to do a little shade, honey. And one thing about it, and two things for sure. Andy loves him some Sheree. So Candy, I would kind of simmer down. He loves Sheree. I don't know what it is, but he loves him some She by Sheree. So Sheree is worried about why Candy is concerned about her instead of worrying about her own business. Girl, she was sitting there when you randomly brought up Johnny. We ain't heard nothing about Johnny since what season was that? Since season 8? Girl, and we are on season 15 and you bringing up Johnny? Anyway. So then Sheree brings out She News, honey, hot off the press. I said, girl, not what? What is this? Candy said, I wish you would print some fashions. Oh my goodness. Let me tell y'all something. Before y'all get down in these comments and get to hollering, Sheree won. No. Candy won. No. No damn body won. Kenya had a blank piece of paper. The only person that really ate somebody up is Drew. Kenya had a blank piece of paper. Candy was stuttering. Sheree was stuttering and twirling, honey, and she came with that pamphlet. Andy was getting his life, honey. He was a little shady as well. But listen, y'all, just have fun just watch this and laugh. It's really giving nothing, okay? So it's no teams. It's no this and that. And she said, and what I get. Child, I ain't got time. Anywho, She News is hot off the press. Candy wants her to print some fashions. Sheree has compared tags to AliExpress or whoever she comparing it to, honey. She said that the shirt should be $9.99 and Candy got it over here for $79.99. And Candy was like, listen, girl, I never said that I was a fashion brand. I never said that. Sheree, I do feel like this is a little excessive. Okay, a whole pamphlet about Candy and her business. Girl, why would you do that? Your daughter must have helped you. That oldest one, honey, she in with the mess. Tiara, she definitely helped you with this. She had to. Like, she was really mad about those spoofs that Candy did. That's what I'm thinking this is. So now that she done the spoofs, now we got the She Buy newsletter, and Andy gonna be asking about that damn pamphlet every reunion from now on. What's going on with She News? Where's the newest edition? Andy gonna be asking about it, child. Listen, Sheree, she never claimed to be a fashion line. She's using private label. It's just a bunch of clothes, just like when you go to Ross. Ross is not the designer of those clothes. You just got a bunch of clothes in there, honey. You got to rummage through them and get what you can. That's exactly what Candy is doing. Moving forward. So then Andy asked Sheree if she's turned a profit. And child, she got to turn it into a real business before she turn a profit. If anything need to be turned, it need to be her direction. Okay, because the She by Sheree ain't working out. She need to be working out. She need to do that fitness line. That's what she really needs to do. But we done already told her that before, honey. She ain't listening. So anyway, she talking about, well, you know, I've been working on it for so long. Girl, we know. But it takes 2 to 3 years to make a profit. Andy, please stop asking Sheree about this imaginary business. The most we gonna get is what we got on the season finale last year. I'm very proud of Sheree for putting on a fashion show with fashions. And that's just it. So then she gave Drew a bag because Drew said she never got a She by Sheree bag. She had Candy open it up, and Candy had this thing, and she said, and sing. I'm like, oh my God. Sheree, leave Drew alone. You working overtime at this reunion, baby. I mean, at least she kind of made it interesting, though, because otherwise, what would we really be talking about? So, I mean, in reunions past, you sat there on mute. Nene used to eat you up and you said nothing. I think you see these girls as worthy adversaries, and they're more on your level as far as an opponent. Because there's some people, you can't hang with Sheree. And I guess the first chair got you activated. So, girl, go on, honey. Go on, give it to him, honey. Go on, give it to him. Andy love him some Sheree talking about, I'm keeping this. I'm subscribing. I can't wait for the next issue. Andy is shady as hell. Sheree, you put in work with that She by Sheree pamphlet, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, don't try to sell them, okay? Because I ain't buying one. Every time you turn around, you trying to sell something. Stick to the She by Sheree who gonna check me blue t-shirts. So now on to Drew's segment. We see her time on the show this season. Drew said that the movie that she did with Kandi was top tier, from the craft services to the trailer, this, that, and this and them. Well, Drew, that ain't what you were saying when you was in there, girl. So Andy wanted to know, what did Kandi feel after hearing Drew say that she wouldn't do anything less than Lifetime? And she was like, good luck. Kandi, Drew has done Lifetime. Drew has done VH1. Drew has done BET. Drew has done UPN. Drew has done CW. She has done movies. She has been on the big screen. So it's not like she hasn't, but she was whack for sitting there saying, I'm not doing anything. If it's not a Lifetime, I'm not doing it. So then Drew was like, well, my agent had passed on the opportunity, but Todd called me and we talked. And because he was starting out, I was like, okay, cool. I'm not understanding why people aren't appreciative of that. Drew, you didn't have to take it. What you said was still shady. Let me tell y'all something. One thing about me is I'm going to call all of it out. I'm not team nobody. I don't give a damn what went on. What you said was wrong. Okay? It wasn't cool, because if you're on an acting set and you're being paid for your service, why shade it on camera? Why do that? Here go Marlo trying to hate, talking about, you only got $10,000 for that, right? Kandi said, no, we paid her more than $10,000. You let Greg borrow $10,000. Listen, Marlo, it don't matter if she got $10. She took it. Okay? It don't matter what she got. Didn't you work for free when you first came on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Didn't you pay for your own trip? Okay. Moving forward. So then they bring up Drew's comment about Kenya being a working actress, but she shaded Drew's video. Y'all, please. It was tit for tat. Housewives throw light shade at each other. That was nothing deep. I ain't got time. I don't give a damn. So then Andy asked about the kiss and how Kandi felt about Drew calling her a liar. Kandi gets all hype. She mad. Drew said, well, why did you say maybe that you were wrong back in 2021? Kandi said she was joking. She was like, I was just trying to save you, because you're married and this and that. Well, Kandi, if that's your logic, then why in 2022, because I'm pretty sure this was shot before 23, why then did you keep it going? She was still married then. You should have just been like, okay, Drew, if that's how you feel, okay, girl. You saying you ain't do it, you ain't do it. But you kept on. I don't get it. The logic is not logicking for me. Yes, I know what y'all gonna say. Well, she was trying to say that Kandi was a liar. Okay, we all know that Kandi wasn't lying. We know that Drew was. Sometimes you just have to pick your poison. You got to choose your battles. It really wasn't all that. So Andy asked if Kandi was sure. She's like, I know what I saw. I did not imagine that. I saw it with my own eyes. So, Kandi started trying to take a little survey. Marlo's still saying she only saw 80%. Girl, bye. Drew said, well, this is some candy-coated lies. That's what this is, candy-coated lies. So she's like, people are afraid of you, Kandi. They're afraid of going up against you because you have 10 million followers. I'm so sick of this subject. It's been proven that the two of them want to forget it. LaToya and Drew. It's been proven. LaToya is lying, Drew is lying, and Kandi is trying to make sure that they don't think she a liar. We know, Kandi, you ain't got to prove it. We already know. Because we already know, girl. We already know. So I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Then, Kandi, you lost me. Okay? You lost me. You lost me. You lost me. You lost me. She said, all this time we thought Drew was the victim, but now I'm sure that you are gaslighting Ralph. I'm seeing things totally different. Now, Kandi, I get that you're mad, but baby, we have seen Ralph at work. Now, you will feel a type of way if somebody said, it's all you in reference to Todd. You will be pissed. Two things can be true. Raph is a gaslighting jerk and Drew got a little line problem. And truth be told, they be gaslighting each other. That's how they lasted so long. How you think they lasted 8 years? It's a gaslighting. I'm gonna gaslight you. I'm gonna gaslight you. Like, it's back and forth. But I didn't like that. I didn't like that the woman is going through a divorce. It's like y'all choose to care about who y'all choose to care about. Because when Portia was going through a divorce, it was, oh, let's get together and take Portia to a Mexican restaurant and sit around and eat with her and hold her hand and let her cry. Why y'all doing Drew like that? Like, I understand y'all arguing and whatnot, but to say, I'm sure you gaslighting Ralph. I just didn't think that was cool. Now, I know y'all probably gonna get mad or whatever, honey, but I mean, that's just how I feel. Anywho, moving forward. So Andy asked Drew how her song was doing, and she said it hit 100,000 streams on the first day. We was watching it over on the YouTube. After all that, Drew was like, Candy, wait, hold on before we go on, Andy. I want to make sure that we're good. Ma'am. Drew, you are delusional, honey. You're not good. She don't give a damn. You crossed her when you called her a liar and you wouldn't take it back. So Drew, no, y'all are not good, honey. Y'all ain't good. Oh, Lord. So everybody looking at Drew like, girl, what? Are you crazy? Marlo talking about, girl, come on over to this couch. This was so funny to me. Marlo said, girl, come on over to this couch. You ain't going to be over there much longer. Now, that was funny to me. When I tell y'all I got a good cackle, I said, ooh, Marlo, please hush, honey. So Drew was like, well, I just want to know where I lied. Drew, you are wearing me thin. Please just be quiet. Just be quiet. Okay? You want to know where you lied? Flashback to 2020's reunion. Drew saying she kissed a girl. 2023, she says she never has. Drew, you lied. Just stop. You lied. Okay? You've been proven to lie. Just stop. So then Andy asked Drew if she was going to tell us more about the divorce when Ralph comes out. And she was like, well, I got to be careful because we still have kids and we're still married. And I was just like, girl, air him out. He talks down on you every chance he gets. Air him out. Okay? Like, girl, air him out. You got all this venom and everything for the women. Use that for Ralph and his little pointy head. So Andy asked if it was a chance that things could change. And she said, as of now, we're going through the process. So all the ladies are like, I think things can get better. I think things can change. Why are y'all rallying for her to stay with the man who hates her? Have y'all been watching? Y'all clearly don't like her, because why are you rallying for her to stay with him? So Marlo said, well, Ralph reached out to me and, I told him that I hope they work it out. I don't. I want better for Drew. And why are you always talking to somebody's husband? Drew, you better leave that man where he at. I'm just saying. So then we get to the next segment. The cousins and the friends come out. Ugh, I immediately got an attitude seeing old lying Courtney. I can't stand Courtney. I don't want to hear nothing that she has to say. But I mean, here we are. Andy asked how her and Ralph were related. She said, her cousin, sister Tracy, baby mama saw you at the show. Honey, I don't know what she was talking about. Okay, it's giving lie. Okay, I'm Ralph's cousin twice removed, carried a one. Girl, you ain't bit more related to that man than the man in the moon. You are not his cousin. Okay, you're not. So then Drew throws a plum because Courtney wants a peach. Marlo gets mad because it touched her dress. She doesn't want plum juice on her. She only wants peach juice. Andy retrieves said plum and takes a bite. Andy, that is disgusting. Okay? That's just nasty. Now, I know y'all ain't had lunch yet, but that was just gross. I was like, oh, Andy, please. And Drew, please stop throwing this stuff, honey. You did the same thing with that dog bone. It never lands right. And why do y'all all have little things and trinkets and stuff? Marlo, what you got under that dress? Because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Sonya came out with the baby bump. Sheree came out with the pamphlet, the bag, and the bullhorn. Kenya came out with a blank sheet of paper. You came out with a plum. Candy, what you got? Candy ain't got nothing, Josh. Candy said, I can't bring nothing. I can't bring nothing but me, honey. So then Andy asked Marlo about Scott Lee. The bottom line is they are still doing whatever it is they're doing, and they have done it. Moving forward. So then they asked about Roy dating Marlo. Kenya said Roy told her that he took a lunch. It definitely was not a date. And she knows it's not a date because Marlo's dates usually end with money on the table. Kenya, why are you acting like this man did not go out with this woman? That man lied to you, Ken. It was a date. And he slid into her DMs. Kenya trying to talk it away, talking about some, well, when you have a live, the comments go to the DMs. Sonya said, slow down, not so fast. Nope. as the person who does social media, I does this. When you have a live, the comment is on the live. The comment is not in the DM. So then Candy tried to help her out, talking about she was talking about the mentions. The bottom line is that man went out on a date. He a thirst bucket as well. So then a viewer asked about Kenya and Roy and why he doesn't really be shown on the show. And Kenya said because of Marlo and what she said in the super trailer about him popping her cherry and he's a businessman. Kenya, please. Roy did not come around unless Monyetta summoned him. We have to just call a spade a spade. Okay. It sounded like a lie. That man was getting free marketing and mentions and showed up once on screen with food. I like you, Kenya, but it was not because of Marlo. It was because he did not want to be seen. Like, I mean, girl, he didn't want to be seen. That's just it. Moving forward. So then Andy reads a question asking Marlo to read the reunion looks. So she said Monyetta is giving Sunday's best. Candy, she loves it. It accentuates her boobs and her this and her that. Kenya's is good, but she doesn't like the feathers. It's giving Peacock. Well, I mean, y'all are streaming on Peacock, so maybe it's an ode to Peacock. She doesn't like her hair either. So then Kenya's like, and you sitting over there looking like Mrs. Roper, talking about somebody's looks. Baby, Andy got a good kiki out of that. Do you hear me? When I tell you he reared back so good, she basically gave a good report on everybody that she liked, and she paid dust to the people that she didn't like. But side note, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but I was wondering if the boobs on Courtney's dress and are her boobs smushed too tight, or what about like the top had Courtney's girls on the lean. It was like one was above all the drama and the other one was drop it low, girl. Baby, them boobs was lean with it, rock with it. I said, what the hell going on here? Anywho, then we go on over to the collusion of it all. Sonya was like, I really think it's unfair that you said it was a collusion because we were all talking about who we thought was lying in the whole situation. About, I don't give a damn. I'm not finna go through this. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about no collusion. I don't care. And why did they bring them out? I don't care, honey. I don't care. So then they asked Candy how she felt when Sonya sat there with Courtney and called her ghetto, and she just laughed. And Candy was like, I was mad because I'm like, you gonna laugh at it? Sonya said, well, you set the precedence for that because when I sent you a picture that Drew posted about her flipping her hair in my face and calling me a flip-flopper, Candy laughed at it because she thought it was funny. And I think that's fair. I mean, I guess. But at least Candy kept it real with you and she told you that she was going to laugh at it. My thing is, you cannot be mad at Sonya. Okay, Candy, you cannot. Because you have also laughed at things people have said and just sat there. Like, there are plenty of examples. Y'all not really friends like that. Just because y'all went to Disneyland or whatever with the kids, still, Sonya's a flip-flopper. Okay, that's what you are, Sonya. Both things are true. Candy, you have laughed in the face of adversity as well. And Sonya, you are definitely a flip-flopper. So, I mean, girl, what are we talking about, really? What are we saying? So then Monyetta said, every time Marlo does something, the girls excuse it, like the door being slammed in her face. And Sheree talking about, I was just trying to keep the peace. I was 2 or 3 people back. I didn't know if she slammed the door or not. Monyetta, what you're saying is true, but the same could be said about you and your friends. The alliances are strong on this season. There's clearly a line in the sand. Even the couches are divided, just like the season was. But Sheree, you straight up lied. You were not 2 and 3 people behind. You were right behind Monyetta, and you knew exactly what it was. Now, do I think you were trying to keep the peace? Probably, but Monyetta ain't gonna bust a grape, child. You should have let her have at it, honey. Don't be slamming no doors in my face. So then Andy asked why it was a big deal that Marlo sent the tape around. And Monyetta was just like, she sent it to someone that's not even in the group. Marlo was trying to be messy, point blank in the period. She was trying to be messy and she was trying to out Drew. There's no other way to look at it. It's not up for debate. Marlo, you were being a mess box. So then somebody asked Kenya about Birmingham and if she really was going to perform. She said, yes, they went down there and practiced and whatnot. As far as her salon, they had a soft opening and she's in construction, adding a 2nd floor. She already added the lobby and, whatever. We didn't get to see it. So, Andy, I don't know why you asking. We didn't get to see it. So then Candy was asked about if she still wants to be there. And she was like, I was on edge because of my group. I was filming with them. I was filming with them, and basically I bit off more than I could chew. Now on to Manetta. Her and her big mouth, saying that Drew told her that she had a crush on Ty. She said when she saw the blogs, she didn't know what to believe, but then she called Drew and Drew told her the real, and so she believes what Drew said. And Drew said, I just basically told her, girl, I was just joking. I mean, we're on set. I'm in character. Drew, you lying again, girl. Because, honey, everybody got a crush on Ty, honey. Maybe even me. Okay? So I don't believe it. I don't believe it. She just got something about her that will make even the straightest of women sit up and pay attention. So I believe that you said that and you were not joking. Moving forward. So then Andy asked about Courtney and Ralph and how Ralph felt about it. So Courtney gonna say he was very hurt and he felt that Drew was projecting. I can't stand her voice. Drew said, well, you don't know anything about me. And he's been coaching you all season. Listen, Courtney, you've been lurking, allegedly. That's why I don't play that play sister stuff. I don't play that. Don't bring me no play cousins. Don't bring me no play sisters. Don't bring me none of that. You've been down in Tampa, allegedly. So Drew tells her, don't you ever speak on my kid. Don't you ever put your mouth on my child. Ever. And so, baby, Drew is getting in her. Do you hear me? Baby, getting in her. Get her, Drew. Get her. Let me tell you something, Courtney. Keep your mouth off of people's children. That's just pathetic. You're pathetic, actually. Okay? Your little antics last week and this display here on this reunion. So then she gonna try to lie and say, I didn't say anything about your kid. Andy said, no, you did. You did. And so Drew said, yeah, you know the cameras were rolling, bitch. You said it. So then she gonna flip it and say, no, I knew the cameras were up. That's why I kept saying it over and over. I knew the cameras were up. Now all of a sudden you knew they were there. She's like, I said it multiple times. Girl, get lost. You are a fan. Okay? That weaseled their way onto this show via Ralph because he will do anything to hurt Drew. Her pain gives him joy. Y'all are both losers. And that's just that on that. And that was the most interesting part of the reunion. And that was the end of the episode. Courtney, you can go and never return. Okay? Because when you were having little petty arguments with Kenya and Candy, that was all cool. But when you mention that girl's child and don't try to say, she didn't directly say anything about the child. You insinuated it, okay? You don't speak as this boy could see this one day. Why would you say out of your mouth, oh, that's why she wanted him to adopt him so she can go have a little gay relationship? Why would you say that? What about your lesbian relationship? Child, shout out to Lisa Nicole Cloud. Honey, I have been on here for 40 minutes, child. I have given y'all the entire reunion, basically verbatim. For me, it did not give what I thought it was supposed to give. But I mean, there were moments that had me cackling. All in all, it was a bunch of fluff. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the reunion part 1. Meet me back here for the reunion part 2. And yeah. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.